Let's get this recap rolling here and go enjoy the day. All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy hump day, happy Wednesday. Hopefully you guys are having a blessed day. Midweek check-in. Hopefully you guys are doing good. It's been a great week and you're winning across the board. Whether you are in your fitness journey, in your stock market journey, or whatever, So I'm just claiming that for you to win. Do me a favor, if you are watching this live or watching this on the recording, in the comments, just post up where you're watching this from. I like to see how far across the states or the world that we do make it. The purpose of this recording is just to simply come in and show you how easy, right, trading can be from a day trading standpoint, from a swing trading standpoint, and an investing standpoint, right? Every day we go live together as a team, huge family. We are crazy, but we have one common goal, and that's to extract some dollars from the markets, And to some people, that's different than others, There's some people that they come in and make 20, 30 bucks a day pretty consistently, and that's great for their situation because they're just starting out. And the same exact person that's been here for 3, 4, 5 years, 6 years, they might come in and try to get $1, $2, $3,000 a day. I've already had some people make $5,000 and $6,000 in a day. In the end, being consistent and showing up and trading a repeatable pattern and process, that's what's going to pay the bill. Don't ever sell yourself short trying to capture somebody else's profits, because a lot of times when you come in as a newer person, you simply miss a lot of steps and try to chase things, and it never ends well, right? I say that with confidence because when I started my journey in 2016, I saw a lot of people online making $10, $20, $30,000, and I try to do the same with the measly $2,000. And it could happen, but it's less than a 1% probability. So why chase that? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, when you come in and focus on trading the 3 pillars of success, you focus on risk management as pillar number 1. Risk management, pillar number 1. Pillar number 2 is trading your plan. You have to have a plan in place for you to stay consistent. And that pillar number 3 is simply consistency. Without risk management, without consistency, without having a plan, if you lack any of those 3, you're going to fail over the long haul. It might not be today or tomorrow, but eventually you will fail. There's a lot of people on this journey where they come in and say, well, I want to trade or I want to do this. And they're like, well, I might not want to join the community yet. By the way, I think trading in a community is way better. But they come on and they waste hours watching YouTube videos, and a year later, they're in the same exact places they are when they first reached out, And I gotta sneeze. Maybe not. Right down the tip, So in the end, there's tons of free information out there, and you can find a lot of stuff. But if you really want to break out and succeed quicker, success like speed, that's really when you're going to come in and find a group that's trying to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish, whether you day trade, whether you swing trade, or whether you invest. So what I'm trying to show you right now in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you what I called out today on our live trade session that you have access to every single morning. I'm going to share with you how we swing trade using the same exact tools, and I'm going to show you how we can invest using the same exact tools, right? So with that being said, let's rock and roll. Let me get my coloring, crayon, whatever you want to say. If you can find the smiley face on the screen right there, that's our first chart. I trade stock options, I trade futures, and I buy shares and crypto coins for the long-term hold. There is people in our environment that they leverage trade crypto. That's cool, using the same tools. There's people that only trade futures using the same tools and adding into what they already know. That's cool too. In the end, I just want you to win because I want us all to make more so that we could bless more, So these trades, like I said, I called out as they're happening in a live market, and that's what we do every single day. So I know that's what separates us from a lot of other people out there, because I could easily show you after the fact, like you're watching this recording right now, sure, but just know that on the inside, we participated in this as it was happening, right? So I like to do this to give you an idea of what we do, and people can compare their entries and see if they're seeing the same thing I'm doing. And then once you get experience, you really don't need this, but it's just an added benefit, you know. All right, smiley face. This is for the futures traders, right? This morning we have a simple pattern. We have our proprietary pivot levels. Here's a pivot. Here's a pivot. Here's a pivot. Here's a pivot. Right. Then we have our proprietary Swingmaster Pro. In a downtrend, our candles are red. In an uptrend, our candles are green. Right. So when you combine both of them together like a snowball that I just thrown to you to the screen, right, you're going to see how easy trading can be. If you, right, only trade the 2 minute time frame, what happens is if we have a red candle and we hit a pivot, I'm going to take a breakdown. If we have a green candle like this right here that hits this pivot, I'm going to take a breakout right here, and guess what happened? Price floats up. That was a good signal. It wasn't great because I like to confirm two different trends in sync. It's a good trade only if you trade the 2 minute, which is fine. But a great trade was this breakout right here. Here was your stop, and we were able to capture this move right there. So there today, right, I called out ES right here. I called out ES right there. Another great trade was this breakout right here to the upside. You had another one right here to the upside. My goal is to get you 1 or 2 winning trades a day. Then you can stop and go enjoy the rest of the day. Why? Because in my beginning days, in my journey, I would sit and think if you trade all day long, you'd make more money. And that's not always the case until you understand that there's phases of the market where there's a volatile market, there's a transition to a much slower tempo kind of market, and then it transitions back to something that is a parabolic type thing. You know, doesn't always happen, but if you take the whole year and average those days out together, then you can kind of see that those averages play out, right? So I called out ES right here for one winner. The great trade was this one right there, and you could see it went from 6669, 6669 up here to about 6681. That right there is over $500 for one futures contract, right? With that being said, if you captured that great trade, you don't need to take any more trades. You just made $500 in less than 5 minutes, or maybe 8 minutes. We'll just say 10 minutes, right? But my goal is for us to trade with you live from 9:30 to 10:15, which is the first 30 to 45 minutes. If we can get green, hey, we could be done for the day. And then you compound it over time. Now, that was ES Futures, 100% win rate. We don't always win 100% of our trades. And that's why you must use proper risk management, right? Now, we're going to find the new smiley face with his tongue sticking out right here, right? You can see this smiley face. This is the NQ Futures chart. Guess what? Same system, same pattern, and you have a breakout right here. The candles are red. It touched this. I want to take a breakdown, but price never went down. Then we hit this pivot, right? We could take a breakout right here. That was a good trade. A great trade was this one right here because we had our multiple time frame in sync, and guess what happened? This thing ended up going from 67 all the way up here to almost 100 NQ points, right? But could you have captured 10 or 20 NQ points or go risk free in a trail stop? Absolutely. And that's the power. Focus on the singles and doubles, and sometimes you'll get a triple or a grand slam. And on those kind of days, you're happy. Today, this trade right here, I did take it, took the breakout, and it went up, put me in a trail stop, come back down, and it just stopped me out and then ended up running. So I only got about 22 NQ points on this move. I missed the other 80, and that's okay because you know what we like to say? Bummer, green bag. And a lot of people are struggling to get one green bag, right? Then we come up to this next pivot. I called out another breakout right here, and you were done in 2 minutes right there, once again. Then we had another pivot breakout right there, and price ended up floating to the upside. As you can see, here's 10 o'clock. You just got 1, 2, 3 trades on NQ. You got 1, 2, and you got 3 trades on ES. You could have taken a part of 6 trades this morning, right? In less than 45 minutes. But there was a lot of people that took this trade and they were one and done. Why? Because Remember in the beginning, I said I don't have a 100% win rate. Right here, right now, with one win, we have a 100% win rate. We know sooner or later there's going to be a loss that's going to occur, which is going to bring our probability back down to the normal 80-85% win rate. You follow me? So that's kind of what we really stamp each and every day, especially if you're new. Now, the third trade we called out right here was CL. We had another strategy where we actually took a breakdown right here, but if you traded off the pivots, there is no pivot trades on this. And sometimes that does happen. You know what you have to do when that happens? You have to put your hands back and say, hey, that's totally fine. That's totally okay. So as you can see, that is what we did this morning on the future side. Now, coming into the options traders, right? Now, find the new smiley face right here with the mohawk. You see him? I'm going to color it in with the mohawk right here. Guess what? You trade stock options. I called out Tesla. Why? We had a 5-minute bar that turned red. We hit one of our pivots, called out a breakdown right here. Here's your stop loss. Guess what happened? Bam! Tesla fell $3.50 in less than 15 minutes. What that means is when Tesla moves $1 in our favor, you're up about 8-10%. When it moves $3 in your favor, there's an easy 15 to 20% ROI on a day trade that you can go risk-free on. You see how powerful that is? You do not have to take any more trades. All right? So, and a lot of people say, well, I want 75 Tesla points in one day. If you were that individual, you put $1,000 here. Down here, your 1,000 is worth $1,400. Back up here, your 1,000 is worth 500. So why give all that back? And that's a lot of people's common mistake. Then our candles ended up turning green right here. We called a breakout right there. Boom, there's another winner. This actually went $6 in your favor. There's another 20 to 30, well, it's about 40 or 50%, but there's another 20 to 30% ROI. Think about this. Your account in the bank only makes 3% a year. We just made 15 or 20% in 10 or 15 minutes. Get what I'm saying? So if you had $100,000, right? You got $100,000 in your account, and you put that in the bank. At the end of the year, it's $102,000. Well, what if we used 1,000, or let's just say 3,000 of your dollars, or 5,000 of your dollars, and you just made 30 or 40% on this same trade right here? You almost made what the bank's going to pay you for the whole year in one day, in 10 or 15 minutes. And that's the power of stock options and leveraging your money to work for itself. All right. But there's also one more trade we called out today. As you can see, I removed the line by accident, but we came into the market right here and we wanted to take a breakout. I ended up calling calls about right here because we saw us hit this this dotted dash line, which is one of our tools that we have. But the power behind this system, this is called our Lotto system, right? We put it on a 5-minute chart. We wait for a breakout or a breakdown. What we do, and the power of this, right, is we use our AI Lotto High as an option contract generator. I got loaded up to 66 85s today because guess what? If you follow this all the way over, what's it telling you? The power of this, it has a probability to go 50 to 100% ROI. Now, when I took this trade on a breakout right there, I was up $500 and then it stopped me out right here. I got stopped out for $200 profit. Had I held it to the very, very tippy tie, there's about a 3K day, right? Sometimes that happens, but hey, remember in the beginning of our call, we said you have to follow your plan, right? You have to follow your plan and use risk management. And you know what we like to say? 90% of people cannot get a green bag. I'm not mad because I missed out on $3,000. I got $200, and that $200 happened in 2 or 3 minutes. So that's making lawyer money where you're making $100 an hour, give or take. Not always, but in this specific trade. So you know what we like to say? Bummer, green bag, right? And that's kind of our day wrapped up on the day trading side. Now, you could be watching this and say, well, I don't day trade. I swing trade. Everybody knows, I'm gonna try to think of a different company. Everybody knows Apple, right? iPhones, Apple computers, and we're gonna put our software on the 1-day time frame, right? We have a simple pattern, and don't mind the scanners we have. That's a different day's topic. Don't mind what you see right here. I want to share with you a pattern that we have. This is how we can swing trade with a good probability. We're not 100%, but we are very good at what we do. What if you could wait for a simple pattern, a green candle, green arrow, 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 green candle, arrow, 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 arrow. All right, check this one out. Over the next 1 or 2 weeks or before, does price expand in your favor? There's one, there's two, there's three. This doesn't look like much, but this actually goes from 237 up to 242. That's a $5 move on Apple's share price. So if you bought a 4-week option expiration, that's an easy 20 to 30% ROI. That is a good base hit where you can go risk-free and or take profits. So there's one winner, there's two winners, there's three winners, there's four winners, there's five winners. What about this one right here? Well, you would have put your stop out at that previous low right there, and you would have got stopped out right there. And I'm happy to share that with you because now you're not 5-0, you're 5-1, right? If you went all in on this trade right here and you took a loss and you lost 100% of your account, which if you bought 4 weeks of time, it ended up being a winner. But if you had a stop out on a structure like we teach and use, guess what? You got a loser. So we're going to go 5-1 because I would have taken a loss, right? This trade, my stop out would have been there. 6-1, 7-1, 8-1, 9-1. Now let me ask you this. In the comments, would you be happy with a 90% win rate? We're actually overperforming because I told you I win 80 or 85%. See? That's the power of the things that we do, and we do this together. I have a couple people inside of our group. They share when these green candle, green arrows happen. They share when these red candle, red arrows happen, right? Because we're all together in this. There's so much opportunity in the market when we all link arms together. That's the power of the community aspect and having fun. Now, that's just one day trading technique we have. We have multiple trading techniques inside of our mastermind and our group simply because you may have a different risk preference or tolerance than somebody else, and that's totally fine. So you got to come in and really see what we do collectively and then understand that, well, this one really resonates with me, but this one doesn't, and stick with the one that resonates with you and your tolerance. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's how we swing trade. If we invest, right? You might hear me say this on other trainings. I day trade for my job. I swing trade to grow my account. Then I use the profits of both to pay my bills and buy retirement shares. This is what I'm talking about on the retirement side. Check it out. We put it now in the weekly time frame. You sit back, relax, put your hat on. Ding, 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 ding. You got an alert. Let's go take a look at the market. Check it out. Anytime we have a buy, we like to take an entry. Here's another entry. Here's another entry. Here's another entry. Same spot right there, right? Let's say you had 1K and you put 1K in the market right here, right? Well, I wouldn't put all 1K in. I'd put 500. So we just want to put 500 here. All right. It goes up in your favor, then comes back down. Now it's back at your entry again. You can put another 500 in. So now at this point you have 1K and your average price is 160, right? Up here, as price goes on up and in your favor right here, your 1K is now worth 240, 160. That's $80. That's 50%. Your 1K is worth $1,500 over here, right? Sell out, bring 1K back, let $500 ride. Then price comes up, then it falls. Now you add in another $500, right? And your cost average is down here. With that entry, your cost average is about right there. Then we get another entry. You put another 500 in. Now you have a total of $1,500 in the market on this company, and your cost average comes up a little bit right there. At 180, it just hit 280. Your 1,500 right now is worth 180. That's $100. It's over 50%. We'll just say 50%. Now we got 2K. We're just going to go under it. We got 2K up here. Sell out, let 1K ride, right? And let 1K back on the side. Now keep in mind, I didn't even include this. Every 4 of these bubbles, there's 3%. There's 6%. There's 9%. There's 12%. You're about to get 15%. You just accumulated another 15% for holding those shares for free. It's called a dividend. But that's just a side bonus, right? Now, we have 1K in Apple, free in the market. We have 1K back on the side. Now we come in here and we go to Ethereum because everybody knows what crypto is. We do the same logic, wait for the same buys, and we do this right here. You have a buy right here, you have a buy right here, and you have a buy right here. All right, you got 1K in the market. Let's say you put in your 1K here. Now you're diverse. You got 1K in Apple, 1K in Ethereum, right? And that's totally fine. At this point, at 20K, or I'm sorry, $20, which is right here, your 1K is worth 2K. Sell out, let 1K ride, and bring 1K back to the pot. As it comes up here, your 1K is now worth 2K. Sell out, bring 1K back to the pot, let 1K ride, right? So now we have 2K sitting up here on the side, and we have $2,000 in the market. We have 1,000 in Apple. We have 1,000 in Ethereum. Then we get this buy, right? And let's say we want to put in another 1K into the market. Now we have 2K into it right here, and it brings our average up to about right there at 15. Well, up here at 15, right? Up here at 32, your 15 is 100% ROI. So let's just say your 2K is 3K. Guess what? Sell out, right? And bring 2K back. Now we use 1K from this, right? And now we have a pot of 3K. And guess what? Now the market goes against us. It comes back in. We still got 1K in the market. We put another 1K into the market right here. So now we have 2K. And guess what happens? Now our average comes up to about right there of 20. It hit 40. Now your 2K is going to be worth 3 or 4K. We're just going to go 3K to undercut it. And guess what? Sell out, let 1K ride, bring 2K back. Now we got 4K in our account. We got 1K in Ethereum, 1K in Apple, and we're letting it ride, waiting for the next opportunity. We just got this sell on Ethereum. We told a lot of people to take profits. Now, guess what? We know another opportunity to invest is coming up. It's just not ready yet, right? And that's how we invest. So now we started this journey off with 1K, and in 2 years or 3 years, your 1K is now worth 6K. That is building out right there, right? 500% ROI. The S&P 500 averages what? 8, 10, 12% in a year? You just outperformed the smart way. If that's making sense to you, put a BMT in the box. And that's what we do from an investing side, right? I could come in and do another one, but you get the gist of it. You can bring something different like XLM and put it into a different sector. Well, guess what? In 2020, here's a buy, here's another buy, and guess what? All these 4 bubbles, there's 5, there's 10, there's 15, there's 20, there's 25. Maybe there's 20 there or 17%. Guess what? You just made an extra 17% for holding it. But your 1K here goes up here. There's worth 2K. It goes way up there. It's now worth 2K again. You sell out. You just made an additional 2K on this move. Now your pot's at 6K, and now you're in 3 companies at $1,000. And that is how we invest smart. Anyway, if this interests you and you are watching this, just comment beast mode below. I'll send you over my email. I'll get you started. I'll ask you a couple questions, and I'll give you my best path to success for your current situation, because your shoe size is different than somebody else. What I mean by that is your time availability could be different than Joe's, and it could be different than Ashley's, and that's totally fine. But I have a plan for you. I'm confident that you can get started and continue your journey or start your journey, because we all want to go up here to the moon. Mission Moon up here, you know? I'm just kidding, being funny. Now, with that being said, it is Wednesday. I'm going to go up, get my coffee, refill it. Cheers. Appreciate you guys for watching this. Once again, if you're still watching, just comment where you're watching this from. Love to see it. And with that being said, I'm going to give you guys your day back. You guys have a blessed one. Catch me on the next one. Beast Mode out.